Hello and welcome to this review of the Northern Lights Canadian blended whiskey with natural flavors. So common, natural flavors added to Canadian whiskey. It says we love to hear from our customers, Sazerac.com. The Northern Lights Premium, established 1879. But this brand came out September. It was first used in commerce September 24th, 1968. And what I was able to find out, the original registrant, the original company that registered the trademark was Glenmore Distillery. Then Hiram Walker bought it. And then it's got acquired by Barton, and now the Sazerac company. I was getting confused. This is more than that, but now it's the Sazerac company who bought Barton. 1879 might have been Glenmore Distillery. I know Hiram Walker was 1858. Now the old bottle says the Northern Light, not the Northern Lights, the Northern Light, and the old bottle said W. Walker. So you might find some old bottles like that, but this one they changed it to the Northern Lights, and then they got the Canadian leaf, and then there's this sort of wavy thing to make it look like the Northern Lights, I guess. All right, this 750 milliliter bottle was purchased at Winn-Dixie grocery stores here, and it was $9.99. Now, when I went to Winn-Dixie about 2 years later, I saw they had it on closeout in this discount basket, like a shopping cart, like a buggy. And so I bought a second bottle because they had it for $4.74 a bottle. But it ended up ringing up to $4.75. I had to pay a penny extra, whatever. I said $4.75. Yeah, $4.75. I'll take it. Walmart's still selling it here in the big handle, plastic PET handle, 1,750 milliliter bottles for $15.99 right now. So $9.99 and $4.75. Okay, never before had it. There's a few video reviews, but not really many, and they have it on Proof 66, but it's not listed on liquor.com. So. All right, so been on the market over 50 years. I guess it's not too well regarded. I don't know. So at least it's a brown bottle, not clear. Let's check it out. I've been favorable towards Canadian whiskeys, Canadian blended whiskeys over the years. They're interesting. What are the natural flavors? Well, things like plum wine, which have to be aged in small wood. Could be other wines. I've heard people say plum. Could be sherry, cream sherry, blending sherry, cocktail sherry, dry sherry. Rum, could be bourbon, could be brandy. Could be any sort of grain, corn, barley, wheat, rye. The Canadian government is very strict in some ways. All Canadian whiskey has to be aged in wooden barrels for at least 3 years. There's limits on the percentage, like they don't want you to go above 10% flavorings, but even that's not too strict. That's only if you're asking for a certification, a certificate of the percentages, which apparently no one ever asked for. But so it's very open to diversity and creativity. You can use as much wheat or barley or corn or rye as you want, whatever mixture. You can come up with some pretty exotic and interesting flavors. All right, so it's gold amber. Nice alcohol legs. Now it's owned by Sazerac right now. Okay, it's owned by Sazerac now. Could that change? Of course it could change. brands being sold and bought and sold and bought is so common. And not just with liquor, wine and beer as well. It's not too unlike other Canadian whiskeys I've smelled. Thinking about things like Canadian Limited, Rich and Rare, Caliber, even Canadian Club. Canadian Mist is a little light in the nose, or if you want to say dull. I might revisit Canadian Mist though. I might need to revisit it. Maybe I was selling it short or something. Black Velvet does not smell like this. Black Velvet's more grain. This has some, I always say, and I said this with the Canadian Club, the 5-year age and the 6-year age, which they no longer make, to my knowledge. But I said it smelled like a bee honeycomb, like a honeycomb, like honey. Yeah, Johnny Neal said almond extract. It's an interesting, if you're used to bourbon, so if your framework, you know, your mindset is bourbon, no, this is going to be very different. If it's Scotch and Irish whiskey, it's just going to be detached from it. Now, if it's American blended whiskey, there could be some crossover. So the aroma is very nice. Okay, let's go with the taste. Light-bodied, swishy, nut shells, like pecan or walnut. Yeah, honey, grain. Yeah, I guess it's mostly corn, maize. But there's some rye spice for sure. There's wheat. It gives it that bready, soft breadiness, wheat. And there's barley, which also gives it that bread dough. So to me, I'm just totally guessing, but it seems like it's about 80% corn whiskey, the grain whiskey, and then like about 8% rye, 5% barley, and maybe 7% wheat. It's something like that. It seems to have those components, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know. They surely don't disclose their mash bill on the Sazerac website. Can't even find this listed aside from their product specifications. They list it there, but it's not too helpful. It's a light body. The finish is short to medium. It doesn't die right away. It's not just gone, and then it's gone. So it drops slowly and then it's gone. So short to medium, somewhere around there. Okay, off flavors and aromas. No, there aren't any. Nice alcohol eggs. Right, let's see. So, okay, it's common here. Walmart, only the big plastic bottles. Winn-Dixie had the, I would say, attractive glass bottles. And for less than $15, I got 2 bottles. I can't complain. And then I can get the big one for $15.99. So the price point is working well. Good economy, budget, value price brand. How does it do? Now, I do need to get Crown Royal in the mix soon, right? But against Canadian Limited, Rich and Rare Reserve, it's better than Black Velvet. It's better than Black Velvet Reserve. I don't care. I know that's 8 years. I don't care. That's got a harsh grain bite to it. The Black Velvet has a even harsher grain bite. Canadian Club is a jewel to me. Some people rag on it, slag on it, but I don't see that. Canadian Mist, I didn't find it had off flavors or objectionable flavors. I just found that it didn't have much flavor. It was very dull. But like I say, I could revisit it. But the Caliber, the Limited, and all those, they're very similar one to another. My friend David tried. He didn't like the Limited. He says, it tastes like it's got licorice. But I thought he jumped the gun on that. Like he went a little too harsh on it. He didn't think on it enough. But anyway, Gibson's, to me, has sort of a harshness to it. I know it's aged 12 years. Well, obviously the Canadian Club 12 year, the Special Reserve 12 year, small batch. Yeah, that's going to beat all of these because it's aged 12 years. It's about $25 a bottle. It's got a lot of character in it. Bourbon-esque wood flavor. Okay, but this is not on that level. Another one I have coming up next. Oh, so how would I score this? You might like that nutty, like I'm serious, like walnut oil, shell, even the walnut meat. Could be pecan though, but and that honeycomb, where that's coming from, I don't know. You might like that, and the grain presentation is soft here. It's very soft. There's no harsh bite that you get with those others that I described. So I think the score would be about a 94 out of 100. Now you might think that's outrageous. Say, oh, it's crazy. Our most excellent whiskey for that low price point. I'm just buying them and I'm trying them. I have no dedicated attachment to any of these products. I don't work for these companies. I don't have any relationship with the companies. I don't even know anybody with the companies. So I'm just telling you what I think. All right? I don't think my assessment of this is going to really change through the taste challenges. I mean, it could. I don't think so. All right, so the next one coming up is another Sazerac product, and I've seen this around. It's not sold in this town. This one I had to buy at a place in the city, New Orleans. It's James Fox, Canadian whiskey with natural flavors. Oh, well, yeah. Another one, 80 proof, of course. Sazerac. But it didn't start with Sazerac. It started with Seagram's in 1975, and I read a New York Times article about it, and they were saying, Joseph Seagram's has a new Canadian whiskey named after some obscure Canadian official, and they're going to make a big push for it, but it didn't catch on. And what happened is 14 years later, Sazerac bought it from Seagram's, along with a bunch of other whiskeys they had put out and were trying to unload. And Seagram's had a lot of problems, so they unloaded Canadian Hunter, James Fox. It's so many. And it didn't help them because 11 years later the company folded up. It was too late, too much debt, not enough revenue. You know what I mean? Too many outlays, not enough intake. So anyway, I think this is a liter. This is a big bottle. Yeah, 1 liter, and it was like $10.99 for a whole liter. It might have been, I want to say $8.99, but it couldn't have been that low. Could it? It was very cheap. I think it was definitely no more than $10.99 because I wouldn't have bought it. I didn't know anything about it. So that's coming up next, maybe in 2020 sometime. All right, so anyway, enough. I think the video had to be long, though, just to cover it all. But thanks for watching and putting up with it. So Laissez les bon temps rouler, a very interesting product. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.